welcome back to A Better You in a Minute or Two. This is John McGrail, and I am so excited because today we are finally going to pop the hood and look at what's going on between the conscious and the subconscious mind that creates all this resistance to change I keep talking about. Now, in order to do this, we really have to start at the beginning, and of course at the beginning of life, the conscious mind is not doing anything. It hasn't even really formed yet. So we have this incredibly powerful computer, enormous potential, but without any database. And like any computer, until it's programmed, it can't do anything. And the programming of the human computer takes place mostly in the first 8 years of life through a very simple process called association and identification. Notice there's no barrier. You can throw anything into the computer you want. And that's what happens. Inputs come in, and they are associated and identified according to contrast, positive or negative. But you can program the computer for 2 plus 2 is 4, or you can program the computer for 2 plus 2 is 5. Either one gets in very easily. Now, along the way, during the first 5 years or so, the conscious mind forms, and by the time we're 8, we have this little human mind which is pretty much programmed for the adult it's going to be. The conscious mind is working and interacting with the subconscious mind, and the imprinting phase of our development comes to an end. Then we move into the next phase, which we call modeling. And during these years, between about 8 and 14, we continue to find this interaction, and we begin to model or perfect the use of our programs. We begin to become the people we've been programmed to be. And during this phase, something interesting happens. When we pop the hood and look inside, we see a new layer, and it sits right between the conscious and the unconscious. And it's very much like a semi-permeable membrane. We actually call it the critical filter. You know, filters let certain things through and not other things. And this critical filter, or semi-permeable membrane, has a very important and very simple job. And that job is to evaluate inputs, check the database to see how we're going to respond. I'll give you a very simple example. If I was to tell you that I could show you a way into the safe of my bank, which is right around the corner from my office, I'll pay your plane ticket if you're coming from far away. I'll show you how to get into the safe. You cannot get caught. I'll have you do it on a Thursday when all the money's in there. And then you bring all that money back, thousands and thousands of dollars, and we'll split it. What would you say? Well, of course, you'd say no, because you are not programmed to have bank robbery be an acceptable behavior. And if there are any of you out there that actually thought that might be a good idea, please do not call me. That is the job of the critical filter. And as we grow older, the interface between the conscious and subconscious mind, this filter gets less and less permeable, or more and more rigid. Less can get in, and even less can get out. We become set in our ways. And when we're really set in our ways, by the time we're adults, there is resistance. Now, right now, I get to answer the question that I hear most often, both in my office and in the emails and texts that you've been sending me. And it goes something like this. You know, critical filter, critical schmilter. I know lots of people. They make big changes in their life. They transform just like that. My Uncle Bob quit a 2-pack-a-day habit. Never smoked again. Just stopped one day, no withdrawal, no problems whatsoever. And I have a friend, Sprocket, who wanted to lose 35 pounds. So she gave up the junk food, she started exercising. She never went back to her old ways. She lost the weight and she looks terrific. And I have a friend, Spriggett, who had this incredible fear of cucumbers. And in the space of a weekend, he went into a room with a jar of cucumbers, faced his fear, and now he eats them with aplomb. Now, of course, we all know people like that. Life just flows for them, and when they want to do something, they just do it, and it's really easy, and we hate them. Is there an explanation for this? Yes, there is, and I'm going to give it to you in a way that I think you'll find pretty cool in our next episode. Until then, please keep asking yourself this question over and over again like a mantra. Does this choice serve my growth, my well-being, and the greater good? Does this choice serve my growth, my well-being, and the greater good? Does this choice serve my growth, my well-being, and the greater good? Flip that coin, flip that coin, flip that coin. The more you do it, the easier it's going to be to get around that resistance when the time comes. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's all about a better you.